that break. Glad you're still watching Science Breakfast with me, Alan Hubbard, and the sign language interpreter is Tobias Omondi. In studio, we are with Mr. David Gitau. He is a CCO at Lofty Coban, and we are talking about matters money, because every other Thursday we bring you Money Matters and we talk about stretching that coin that you have. Today we've been talking about how to grow your income. A little bit of risk taking has been at the center of today's conversation. We've spoken about shares, how to buy shares, where you can find them, but also we've spoken about property. Is it still viable to work to deal in property? And Mr. Gitau here said yes, indeed, it is still viable. But now we want to compare and contrast, because when you have options, then what is the best placed place to invest? So, Mr. Gitau, shares versus property. If you are starting out today with a particular amount of money, because you've already demystified that except for property, where you want to go through an investment portfolio, you need a sizable amount of money. But where you don't need a lot of money, which would you choose and why?
Okay. Given typically the amounts of money required for property, which tend to be much higher,
Yeah.
and this is not a phenomenon that is just strictly Kenyan.
Yeah.
If you look at on average, the wealth of an individual, most of it is stuck in property. But over and above that said, when it comes to, let's say, the Kenyan context, really, one of the places to start is through a collective investment scheme.
Yeah.
In terms of equities, in terms of shares. That should be the starting point. Start there, build some little bit of capital there. And then, of course, one of the things that we talk about is investing in knowledge. And one of the best ways to invest in knowledge is to experience it.
Yeah.
So at some point you need to also go direct and understand, yes, how do these shares actually work, other than the theoretical thing that I have encountered myself. So when it comes to shares, you will go directly and through a collective investment scheme and just see
How do they play out?
How do they play out and how useful it is for you. But typically, if you have less money so that you mitigate the risk, go through a collective investment scheme. Because with your 100 shillings, with your 1,000 shillings, then your portfolio is diversified instantly, as opposed to having 1,000 shillings where you only have one stock.
Yeah.
So that would be the typical starting point. Equities and then property, because by the time you amass enough money in for property, it'll take you a while. But we always say you must start, you must have skin in the game. So you must start somewhere. So in terms of growth, start with shares because it is affordable.
Yeah.
What I forgot to mention is that now, even in the stock market, the minimum amount of money you needed to buy, or rather the minimum amount of shares you needed to buy was 100 shares. So the regulations have changed, though yet to be put into effect, to the best of my knowledge, where you can even buy just one share. So if a share is 1 shilling, you need 1 shilling
To buy that share.
to buy that share.
Interesting.
So things are getting better.
Yeah.
So it's becoming more and more accessible to the common mwananchi. What we just need to focus on is how do we then empower this guy
Yeah.
to make him understand that, hey, this is an avenue for wealth creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next question was about diversification. Now I'm not even going to ask it, because then it doesn't, not unless now you've already made the money and now you decide to hold skin in both games.
Okay, when it comes to like shares in particular,
Yeah.
you can have both
Either.
of them.
Yeah.
Either of them. Yeah. I just said that the less the money, then you go through a collective investment scheme. But now, since the regulations are changing,
Yeah.
you can actually do both. And overall, eventually, we always say you do not put all your eggs in one
In
basket.
one basket, yeah.
So having a property strategy, having a share strategy, and even having a share strategy, both having a side hustle which is private,
Yeah.
and having this other one which is public, is also a strategy.
Yeah.
So eventually you will diversify across, whether it is a collective investment scheme, in property or direct, you will have both.
Yeah.
In shares, you will have both direct and
Indirect.
and also within shares, you will also have your own private enterprise, because one of the things that we always encourage people is have multiple streams of income. If you're employed, do not just think of that one job, one salary.
Yeah.
Try and see how you can have a side hustle, because a salary will not make you wealthy. At the end of the day, it is entrepreneurship, it is owning stakes in businesses, your own business, that will actually make you wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, we cannot belabor enough the point of patience. And, you know, Kenyans, we are the type of people who even look at our Fuliza balance and we think that is money that belongs to us. In a strategy of looking at a dying horse, how important is patience? And not only speak about patience, but what are the things that could enable us to be patient with our investments? I think that is the question.
I think it all boils down to what had been said earlier, that being successful financially does not matter how smart you are.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you went to school. It is all about behavior. And the most important behavior there is discipline.
Yeah.
And that discipline is extremely difficult to teach even the smartest people. So what do you want to do to create that discipline? You must first have skin in the game. So
Yeah.
start, and then make it consistent such that it becomes a habit. Okay? When it becomes a habit that you don't have to think about it, that every time maybe if you're employed, your salary comes, automatically it's being diverted.
Yeah.
It becomes habitual, it becomes consistent, and that is what we are calling the investor mindset. But ladies and gentlemen, without patience, when
Yeah.
it comes to investing, it won't cut it. You have to be patient. Yeah.
Some of the common mistakes that you've seen that our viewers should not fall for.
Particularly in the stock market, again, not even stock market, I think it's again falling for dubious
Schemes.
schemes.
Yeah.
Without really understanding what is going on. If somebody comes to you and they are touting some collective investment scheme, ask them whether they are regulated or not. If they say they are regulated, then you can go to the Capital Markets Authority website or whichever regulated website they belong to, and you will see their name. If it is unregulated, then you know it is just you and you are God. If things go wrong, you have no recourse.
blame. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, of course, is the issue of frequent trading. I have encountered, particularly back in the day when I was working for a stockbroker, and somebody would come and say, I've been trading for the last 3 months, but I'm not making any money. So now I have been called as an investment analyst. I'm good with the numbers. But when I sit down this client, I tell them the problem here is your short-term nature
Yeah.
of your trading. You're buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. At the end of the day, you're actually making less than what you're actually making. Why? Because you don't have the patience. Give the share time to grow. Give the business time to grow. That should, as the business grows, it will be reflected in the share price. The other thing is that is of critical importance is really to understand how shares work.
Yeah.
Back in the day, 2008, 2009, when the Safaricom so-called IPO was coming into place, we got about 1.2, 1.5 million new investors
Yeah. In the country.
in the stock market,
Yeah.
who really had no idea how the
What it
stock
was,
market
yeah.
worked. And very many of them really got disappointed. So I always tell guys again, invest in knowledge.
Yeah.
Understand how the stock market works, so that when you see your stock prices going down, or when you see your equity fund value going down, you understand the reason behind it. And one of the key mistakes people make is to panic. When you see share prices coming down, rule number one, do not panic. Go back to your investment advisor or your investment analyst and ask him, has the quality of this company changed? If he says no, oh, interesting. The price has come down.
Yeah.
You bought it at a discount. Now it has even come further down.
That discount.
That means it's more at a discount. You should be running because it's a sale. Go and buy more. But a lot of people will panic
And sell.
and take the loss. You only sell when the quality of the company has deteriorated, and essentially there's no coming back. Yeah, and that time, even the advice is take your losses. The other mistake investors make is to hang on to losers for too long. E company mezorota. There's no coming back for it. Why are you holding it? Just sell, take your losses, agree that it was a bad investment decision, and move on.
And move on.
Yeah.
Don't hang on to your losses too
You
long.
are all your decisions in terms of investing, they will never be 100% accurate.
Yeah.
They will not happen 100% of the time. They'll always be losers because we make decisions based on knowledge that we have today. We don't know about 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Something might come and then disrupt the business which had a very bright future.
Yeah.
That is a share. That is the nature of investing. So patience, resilience is important. Keeping a cool head, not panicking, but always keep in touch with your investment analyst. Yeah.
Interesting. Then what role from these investment vehicles, shares and property, what role does Lofty Coburn play in those two sectors?
Lofty Coburn has collective investment schemes.
Yeah.
One of the collective investment schemes that we manage is the equity fund, which primarily
invests
in
shares.
shares.
Yeah.
So that's already ongoing. Investors can put in as little as 1,000 shillings. Even if you don't have 1,000 shillings, you only have 100 shillings.
Yeah.
You are most welcome. Going forward, we have a couple of products. No, we have one product which will now be investing in global investments. So that is in the pipeline. That one is waiting for basically the regulations to be licensed.
Yeah.
So in terms of the collective investment schemes, it is growth. In future, maybe when the property market becomes vibrant in the sense of market knowledge in terms of how real estate investment trusts work, and we have figured out a way to reduce the cost, because you know what happens with when you have high fees because of too many experts, that means the returns to the investor go down.
Lower, yeah.
So once we figure out how are we going to reduce this cost to about 2%, then again we will play in that space of the real estate investment trusts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your closing remark, Mr. David.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So reach out to Lofty Coburn, myself, to the investment consultants in the firm to help you guide, make these decisions. But remember, before you start taking risk, have your foundation in place. Whatever you do, make sure you have your emergency funds in place in some money market fund somewhere, and you have your insurance. Remember Ecclesiastes 11:2. Invest in 7 ventures. Yes, invest in 8 ventures, because you do not know what disaster may befall you. So you must have your emergency funds in place. You must have your insurance in place. Before then, you can take on extra risk. Thank you very much.
All right, you've heard it all. My takeaway from today's conversation: do not hold too long onto your losses. What better way to conclude the show this morning? Let us see you tomorrow on Friday as we usher in the weekend. Alan Hubbard, as Tobias Omondi. Good morning.